Hi and welcome guys to the first episode of my playthrough for Brigandine, the Legend of Forsena. This will be my very first video for my channel, and as you can see, the name of my channel is Retro. The goal is pretty much to do a playthrough of retro games. Games that, well, I'll start for those that I like first and then pretty much ask you guys moving forward if there's any game that you want me to play. So pretty much Brigandine has been a great part of my childhood. So I want to start with this game. I was actually picking between Brigandine or Digimon World 1, 2, and 3. But I decided to go through with Brigandine. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and let's start. Click start. So here, we're gonna be selecting a ruler or the country that we want to pick. Pretty much all countries starts with 6 domains or 6 castles, if I'm not mistaken, and they have the same mana at the beginning. Mana is what you use to summon a monster. I'll show that to you once we're inside, and the difference will be the number of knights and the monsters plus the ruler themselves. So here, first one is New Almakia. It's a pretty easy country to start with, since New Almakia and Cerulean will have an alliance at start. As long as you guys don't attack one another, you'll be in alliance all throughout the game. So it's gonna be easy since the only ones that you need to defend are the 2. You see the boxes up top. So those are the 2 castles that you just need to defend. The one at top is against Norgard, and then the one below that is against Esgares. Now, Prince Land starts with 13 knights. I mean start because you get knights as well as quests in the game. So yeah, he starts with 13 knights and 44 monsters. And he got a salamander. Salamander's 3rd tier dragon. It's pretty strong. Even though Prince Lance himself is a weak or wimpy at the beginning because he's a low level ruler compared to the other rulers. So it takes time for him to grow. But he's pretty strong. And actually, spoiler, if you defeat Esgares using a New Almakia, Lance will become a king instead of a prince, and he will gain new skills. He's actually going to get Geno Flame. That's the most important skill, and it's an area skill, which is pretty awesome. So the next one will be Cerulean. Again, this is going to be an easy country to start with since you'll be in alliance with New Almakia, and he's actually the easiest one. The reason being is because, as you can see, there's only one domain or one castle that's going to be against Esgares and Iscalio. So there's only one castle that you need to defend. So Kai himself, the leader, is pretty strong, or the ruler. Although he starts with 8 knights and 23 monsters. Again, since you only need to defend one and you get knights through questing, it's pretty easy and it's pretty manageable. And then the next one will be Iscalio in the yellow. This one is hard to start with. The leader here is Drist. He's a tyrant. So the people is actually not happy in his kingdom. And they start with 12 knights and 33 monsters. They say it's hard, but I don't know. I've been in the game using Escalio before, and for me, I loved Escalio. He has a Bahamut. It's a 3rd tier Wyvern, and then upgraded 2 times. So yeah, it's Salamander, the one that New Almakia has, is stronger, but Bahamut is pretty awesome too. Just like dragons, they have breath that can pretty much wreak havoc in the battlefield. So yeah, but it's kind of hard to start with him. as they say. Although I didn't really feel too hard using him back then. Uh, but yeah, that's what they say. And you can choose him if you want to. He's pretty awesome. Once you reach level 30, he will change the tyrant from I forgot the title, but he'll gain a new skill. It's gonna be an area effect skill too, although it hits your allies too. But it's pretty tough later. You can bring him up front, get surrounded by the enemy, and then use that skill, and then he still has enough to go back into line or go back to your defense line, and then do the beating from there. And then next one is Leonia. This one is pretty hard actually to start with. Lioness is just like Lance, a low level, or starts with low level, and she has 11 knights, 26 monsters, but most of her knights are gonna be low leveled. So that's why it's kind of hard. Although you only defend 2 castles or 2 domains, the one at the bottom next to Iscalio, and then there's one next to Norgard on the top. I've actually played her before, although I haven't finished her. I've actually played everyone here besides Esgares. And the only ones I've finished so far was Norgard and Iscalio. As I've said, I've played this game all throughout my years in my life, and every time I try to play a different country, although sometimes I don't get to finish them. But yeah, the 2 countries I was able to finish with were Norgard and Iscalio. I actually liked them as the rulers themselves. That's why I was able to beat them or finish the game using them. And then yeah, Leonia, the reason why I started with her, or I tried to play her before, is because I learned how to develop project knights. You actually start, or you get knights that are low leveled and you turn them to project ones. They become strong mid and end game. So when I learned that, I started with Leonia, and she's pretty hard to start with at first because her knight's gonna be weak. But it's pretty worth it once you get them high level. They're actually strong, basically. But yeah, it's hard to start. And then the next one would be Norgard. Not really that hard, but you need to defend 4 domains right away. So it's a medium tier or a medium level, but not really too hard. Vaynard, the ruler himself, is pretty strong. He starts with 13 knights and 44 monsters. That's a lot of monsters, given that he needs to defend a lot of domains, so that's understandable. And yeah, he's actually a strong ruler. He starts with a Fafnir, or no, not a Fafnir. I think it's just a white dragon that you develop into a Fafnir. Fafnir is a third tier of a dragon. There's actually two ways for you to raise a dragon: either the salamander, that just like what lands have, and then a Fafnir, which is gonna go through a white dragon. So those are the rulers that you can start with, but we're gonna start with Esgares. As you can see, I cannot pick Esgares. There's actually a code or buttons that you need to press in order for you to pick Esgares. You just need to press L1, R2, and then start simultaneously, and then you'll be able to pick Esgares. It's pretty boring to choose Esgares if you're gonna ask me, because one, it's hard basically because you're surrounded by a lot of countries. There's a lot of domains that you need to defend. I haven't tried Esgares yet. But while I was trying to review what I'm gonna plan, or while I was planning who to choose, I leaned towards using him because one, I haven't used him yet, and two, well, I've seen knights that are not as great compared to other countries that I want a project with, or I want to do a project with. There's actually two. I'll show you once we're in, and I actually want to try hard this time. I haven't played the game hard. I want to try the hard AI, see how I'm gonna fare. And Esgares has strong knights. I'm not sure how many exactly he starts with. Uh, oh no, hold on. I think I've made a list. Let's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. There's 18 knights. It's many that, but basically that's all the knights you'll have throughout the game. Esgares not going to be able to recruit any knights throughout your playthrough or throughout your game, so that's understandable. But there's a lot of them that is not very good to use. So it was a challenge when I was trying to actually pick a team. You can actually select 3 knights to go together in battle. You can only choose 3 knights each battles. So yeah, that's one thing you wanna take note of. So, but yeah, I guess let's go ahead. You will see a cutscene. But yeah, let's pick Esgares, sorry. There you go. So yeah. Oh yeah. There's 3 difficulties. Easy. Yeah, it's easy. Normal and hard is quite different between easy, because with easy the AI is just gonna rush to you. You can pretty much set up a defense line and then wait for the enemy to go near you or to reach you. And because it's an easy AI, they don't really mind. There's a rune area for each ruler or for each knight that if monsters go out of that rune area, they become weak. And easy AI or playing it on easy, the AIs actually go outside of that range. For normal and hard, it's different. The AI is not gonna rush you or rush to you. They're gonna wait for you to get to them. There's still a trick for you to set up a defense line before getting them to attack you. But basically, once you reach within 3 or 4 hexes away from one of the enemies, that's the time they start attacking you. So you can just bait it with one monster, a fodder perhaps, just someone that you don't mind getting killed, and then once they start moving, everyone starts moving towards you. So that's how you do it with normal and hard. The difference also is with the game over. Um, with easy, you have 60 years, normal 30, and hard 15, if I'm not mistaken. But pretty much, you only need around, give or take, 7, 8 years to finish the game or to conquer all the castles, unless you do what I'm gonna do, which we're going to be doing some project nights, meaning we're gonna take time getting some knights to level up and become strong. So yeah, I'm gonna try hard. Don't be too hard on me, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish the game or win the game, but I'll try my best. And one thing, spoiler, I might be using cheats. I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna try and look for cheats that are not too game changing, but I am considering using them. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you guys know before I do. But yeah, let's start with hard. There's gonna be a cutscene. Enjoy. All right, so I was actually waiting for the cutscene for Prince Lance there, but it didn't happen. I guess because we picked Esgares. That's actually one of the difference when choosing Esgares. By the way, there's less. There's gonna be less cutscenes. There's gonna be less story. I don't know why Atlus did it, but there's not much storyline or story related with this cars. By the way, you might be hearing some tearing with the sounds. I've actually tried a couple of emulators, but it's pretty much the same. And for others, they actually don't play the sounds. So just bear with me with those guys. So yeah, as you can see, I'm in the middle. Here's Norgard. Here's Leonia. There's no way I can attack her. By the way, there's a huge mountain range in between us. And then there's Escalio here, and then Cerulean, forgot Kai's country, and then the new Almakian. So as you can see, I have one. By the way, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 castles I need to defend. It's gonna take me 5 with 3 knights, that's 15. So with the 18 knights, there's only one team that I pretty much don't need, that I can send the quests. But anyway, so this is the organized phase, by the way. There's 2 phases outside the battle. The organized phase, and after you finish organizing, once you hit execute, as you can see here, it's gonna be the attack phase. Attack phase is selecting where you want to be, where you want to attack. So yeah, I pressed select, by the way. That's how I got this selection. So execute is after you've assigned movement for the knights. You can actually let me select this castle. As you can see, these are the options. If I choose move, select Zemeckis and have him move here. As you can see, it's gonna say move, and then Esmer is just gonna wait here. So pressing select again, if I select execute, or if I press on execute, that move will happen. As you can see on the top left, there's the year and the month. So it's year 215, and the month 3rd. It takes a month for each turn. All right. So once you move someone, so for example, I move Zemeckis over to Ligny. After he moved there, he cannot attack. But the people already, or the knights already here, Kader, Ivan, and Meltorefas, they can attack on the attack phase since they're already waiting there. That's one of the things that you want to consider. You want to think of whenever you move knights around. If you move them to a castle, they can't attack on the attack phase. They can only defend if someone attacks. All right, so that's one thing. And then let's go through the selections. On the select, as you can see, if I press location, it will show you the location of every knight. And if you've selected, or if you've ordered them to move, it will show you the where they're gonna move. And then going back select, there's domain. You will basically see the continent. You will see how much castles each of them have. They invaded something. Oh, I just realized Norgard started with 7, and Almakia, yeah, that's 5 only. And Cerulean 5. Yeah, I thought everyone starts with 6. Sorry. I guess that's wrong. Escalio 2, 4, 6. So Almakia and Cerulean starts with 5, and then Norgard starts with 7, while Escalio and Leonia starts with 6. And then Esgares is, as you can see, 3, 6, 9, 11 castles. And by the way, you'd wanna keep in mind not to have, I think, less than 4 castles or 5 for Esgares, because if you get less than 4 or 5 castles, Kader will leave, or Kader will leave your country. So this guy, you're gonna lose him. It's pretty strong. So yeah, you wouldn't want that. I pressed, what is this? I don't know. Sorry, this circle. So yeah, you'll see the gist of your country. As you can see, I have 11 domains, 18 knights, 58 monsters. Mana, that's what you use to summon. Income, that's actually the mana you gain by the end of the turn, by the next turn. So month 4, that income will be added to my existing mana. Upkeep is the income minus upkeep, and then the one at the bottom, 1165, is going to be added to my mana by next, if I don't lose any castle after the attack phase. So yeah, now let's go back, select. That's the main save. Let's actually do that right now. It pretty much lets you save. So let's do that. Alright. So start, let's pause, and then let's go to option. I actually want to change the cursor speed to 3. Actually, let's leave that to 4. Battle scenes, let's leave it to on, and summon, and then changing class, let's leave it to on. Etc. Auto cursor, swift units. This is during the battle. They actually kind of walk, but let's do swift units so that they just teleport on where we want to move them. Corpse indicate, it's fine. That's okay. No need to do that. And then yeah, as you can see, game level is hard. So that. Now, the options you have when you select a castle. So you have status. You can pretty much check the status of each leader. As you can see, I have 2 leaders here. I can select Zemeckis. I can see the status of Zemeckis himself, as well as monsters. I have Tiamat. It's the 2nd tier of Hydra, and it's the strongest or the highest tier for Hydra, by the way. As Fafnir 2, it's second, or Fenrir, it's the 2nd tier of Hound, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have one? No. So if you select R1, you'll see but I don't have any monsters there. So, but yeah, when you summon, that's where they're gonna be, or I can actually put one in there. Or I'm not in organized, but yeah, you can put one in there. Then again, the organize phase, or the organize, is pretty much I can order. Reorder is reordering them pretty much. You can move them around. You can move them over here. So yeah, that's what you can do. Then next, under organize, you can select the class. So you cannot change the class of the leaders. The monsters, you can change them once they're able to change, or they're able to be upgraded. Normally level 10 and 20 is when monsters can be upgraded. As you can see, Tiamat's already 10. That's an upgrade version of Hydra. And then Fenrir is already level 10 upgrade version of a Hound. And then the rest are level 1. So you'll see them upgrade throughout the game. As Mori, as you can see, she's a Lector. I can change her to Enchantress. And by the way, you'd want to look at on top left part, just below her name, it says Expert. That actually means that she's already an expert for a Lector, or as a Lector. I can now actually change her to Enchantress. It takes 5 levels for them to be an expert of that job. Or so yeah, if I change her to Enchantress, and let's say she gets to level 18, you'll see 1 star below the name Esmery. That's the indicator of how you actually need 5 stars. But yeah, once you reach 5 stars, it's gonna say expert. What does that do? For example, hold on. Let me see status. You'll see the skills. Oh, hold on. Oops. Here we go. So her skills, the magics, heal, area heal, cure, halo. If you're an expert, you get to keep the magic and the skill. There will be some classes with skills too. So let's see. If I change her to Enchantress, there you go. You'll see her change. There. So she's now an Enchantress. It says up because Lector is a higher a higher job basically. It's actually from cleric, but there's no option to go back to cleric. But anyway, so on enchantress, as you can see, now her magic has the skills for enchantress. Enchantress has frost, genofrost, fog, and charm, but she gets to keep her skills from being a lector, and some of these are actually from being a cleric. So that's what an expert does, which I'm gonna keep her actually on enchantress. I want her to get the skills, so she's not just a pure healer or support. She can do attacks too. But basically, I might keep her an offensive magic user, or perhaps I might keep her on support. I don't know. We'll decide later on. So yeah, that's the thing with class. Equip, you pretty much can change their equipment. There's no equipment there. She doesn't have an equipment too. But yeah, in items is you can use items. I don't have items. Most leaders starts, or the other country starts with an item inside there, but I guess Esgares doesn't have one. But yeah, you get items as well as equipments when you quest, and actually even knights too. But since we're playing Esgares, as I mentioned, we're not gonna get any knights from quests. So yeah, that's a sad story, but I already started with 18, although not everyone is a great knight, but yeah, that's what I get. I selected this guy, so I get what I get. Anyway, let's go. Names, if you want to change the names of your monsters, like Tiamat there, here, but I'm not going to do that now. So that's where if you want to customize the names of your monsters, you can do that too. And then lastly, delete. You would want to do this. You only do this if you want to minimize. Let me press this one again. So you want to minimize the upkeep. So upkeep is it needs to be always lower than the income, or else you're not gonna get mana, or you're gonna be losing mana if your upkeep is higher than your income. So that's the only time you would consider deleting a monster. But most often than not, you have a higher income than most of your upkeep, even though all of your knights have a monster, so that should be fine. You don't really need to do delete a lot of time. So next, that's the organize. So move, you've already seen. Wave is basically if I want to change the max to wave. What else? And then quest, if I want to select to put them in quest. So, but not yet. Let's go ahead and have her wait. Now summon. This is where that mana that I'm talking about is gonna matter. So if I go to summon, you'll see there's mana. If I want to summon these monsters, yeah, let's do that right now. One thing that you can also, I believe, yeah, the L1 R1 actually lets you go between each of this faster. And as you can see, since I adjusted the speed of my cursor, it's faster now too. Now, there's one thing that you guys can take advantage of when you start the game. No one will actually start or attack during the first month. So even if I leave, let's say, have these guys move. Oh, sorry. You can do select. Oops. You can press square so that you select each one of them and then move them to Logros. I normally do this. I send everyone to. Most often, I check the castles, what they can summon. If there's any monsters that I'd like to summon there, or most of the monsters I wanna have would be there, I'm gonna put everyone there. But most often, the main castle will have the monsters I want to summon, just like here. Pretty much want to summon dragons, mostly, for everyone. I don't have Centaur, I want to have Centaur too. Wyvern and Griffin are fine. I'm leaning toward Clay Gorham besides Giant. I'm not really a fan of using Giant, as well as Jin. Scorpions are fodder. You can just, clay golem is pretty much a fodder too, but yeah, they're quite costly to use them as fodders. So yeah, I'm gonna be moving everyone to our main castle. Oops. Okay. Alright. You guys move as well. The downside here is that I'm gonna have to move them. So the next month will be month 4, and I'm gonna have to move them over to each castle I want to move them to. So I cannot attack by next month right away. Normally, what others will do if you're gonna be playing other countries, namely Mikia, Cerulean, Iskaios, and Norgard, want to attack Esgares right away. The reason I said that is because no one attacks during this month or during the very first month. Then why you'd want to attack is anyone who attacks and wins a castle from Esgares, there's gonna be an awesome knight that will join your country. So there's gonna be Shutlis, if I'm pronouncing his name right. So whoever gets castle from Esgares first will get that knight. So since you're not an AI, you're not a computer, you can attack right away. So you'd want to do that and attack Esgares. Just make sure you have knights, enough knights. So you can see, let's see, status. You can actually check the status, by the way. This is the white dragon that I was talking about. This guy actually has enough. Can pretty much attack me and then play defensively or not too aggressive. And then yeah. So this one, not pretty much a good idea to attack Esgares. You're gonna have to really wait the next turn since you're gonna have to move some knights. I guess Kai is not in a good position to do that too. Duris has a good lineup actually. Yeah, that should be enough to attack. I mean, considering how much does this have? What about this one? Yeah, can attack this one. Although these two leaders are actually good. Kind of hard to win over. Lioness can't actually get that since, as you can see, there's no way for her to attack Esgares. So, as you've seen, I pretty much signed everyone to move to Logres. Why am I doing this? The reason I'm doing this is because I want to arrange them, the monsters to each one of them, and then depending on the knights that, like the team of the knights, I want to balance out the monsters in them. So that's the reason why I always tend to move everyone in the main castle at first. That gets it's easier to basically fix everyone or assign the monsters to the knights and then pick what knights you want to use and etc. Because some of the knights that I want to quest, of course I want to take the monsters from them and then move it to someone else that I'm going to use. And as you can see, when I go to organize, Zumekis pretty much still have room for monsters. So that's some of the things. As you can see, there's that blue rune. That's actually the rune power for each knight that indicates how much monsters they can have. And as you can see, for each monster, there's the cost on the top right part, on the bottom right corner of their status. There's the cost. That's how much rune power they take up. So as you can see, Tiamat is the one that gets the highest costs, which is 110. 110 out of the 351 that Zumekis can take. or can have. That rune power grows or goes up as the knights level up, but it's not even for each knight. Some knights will have a higher growth rate, some will have a lower growth rate. There are walkthroughs. I'm gonna add them on the description, or actually, I'm gonna add the link to the walkthrough from GameShark. There are walkthroughs or FAQs that has listed how much rune power each knight from all countries gains whenever they level. So you can check that. It's a range, so you can at least you can at least check how much rune power they'll have at level 30 if they're worth to use. Even though the stats growth is good, if the rune power is very minimal, I'd rather not use that. That's how I normally pick characters that I want to use or knights that I want to use, and that's also how I pick project knights, meaning the low level knights that has a good rune power growth rate. I normally want to use them. I also check their stat growth too, if it's pretty good, and then yeah, I use them. So that's it for now, I guess. I don't want it, I think this is over 30 minutes already, so fortunately we're gonna leave the organizing for the next video, but so this is gonna be a long video too. Watch out for that. Again, if you want to check out the other channel by Lunari, I think again the Stellar Arcade, if I'm not mistaken, he already has videos about Brigandine that you can also check. But mainly the difference, I guess, that I'd want to do is telling you guys why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm making those decisions, and pretty much I guess I have a different tactics than him, so you can see a different way of winning battles. So that's it for now. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching.